What's up, beautiful kings and queens, and welcome back to my channel. If you have ever thought about monetizing any of your special talents, or if you have a genius idea and you just know you can turn it into a business but you don't really know how, then make sure you come back, grab your pen, your paper, your coffee, your tea, your half calf extra soy latte if that's what you're into, and meet me right back here because I have something especially for you.
Well, that scratch is making me itch.
Alright guys, so welcome back to Time to Queen, where we are all about destroying the world's BS and negativity and looking for finding all the tools that we need to be able to level up and be the kings and queens that we are meant to be. As you can tell from the title, the thumbnail, and my intro into this video, today we are going to talk about how to build a business. But we're not just going to talk about how to build a business. We're going to talk about how to build a business the right way. So I have been working in business banking for almost 8 years now, and I have seen tons of business financials and formation documents and talked to thousands of business owners, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen the process done wrong. So I want to come to you today to help you actually get it right the first time, because that is so important when you are building a business. You don't want to have to go through paying fines and fees and possibly, it's extreme, but possibly even jail time for not doing things the right way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into how to build a business the right way. This is going to be episode 1. This is actually going to be a 4-part series. So you're going to want to go ahead and click that subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell so that you get notifications of when I upload the next part of this series. This is going to be big, and it is just for you. So go ahead, click the subscribe button and click the bell. Step 1 of building your business is to determine your business model. Basically, what I'm saying is, what in the heck do you want to do? Do you want to be a baker and have a catering company? Are you licensed in something and you want to build off of your skills and not work for someone else? Are you going to have a service or a product? Are you going to sell something? Are you going to help someone do something? You need to determine what your business model is. The second step is going to be to do your research. So after you've determined what it is exactly what you want to do, you're going to want to learn the laws around whatever your service or your product is, so that you don't get into any trouble in your state. Now, this is going to vary from state to state. I'm in North Carolina, so a lot of what I'm going to talk about may actually be geared towards North Carolina residents, but you can apply it no matter what state you're in. So, yes, learn your state laws. Learn, whether or not you're going to be needing a permit if you're selling a product. A lot of states will have you pay state taxes if you're selling a product. So you want to make sure you have the right permits to be able to collect those taxes, and also make sure that you are in the appropriate field according to your state laws. Now, usually these permits are free, and all you have to do is go to your state website to get them. I'm going to provide you guys some links to different resources to be able to find your state's specific information, so that you can just click on that link and go directly to your state to find out what you need for your area. Once you figure out what it is that you're going to need based on your state for your specific service or product, there are 3 major agencies that you're going to need to familiarize yourself with. You don't want to overlook these 3 agencies, because I guarantee they will not overlook you. The first agency is OSHA. I'm sure if you've ever worked for someone else or been a manager at any place, or just, had a job, period, you've heard of OSHA. OSHA is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So if you're going to have employees this agency will be heavily involved in your business. So you're going to want to familiarize yourself with them and their rules so that you don't get into any trouble. The second agency that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with is the Internal Revenue Service. Yes, Uncle Sam has his hand in everybody's pocket, and if you own a business, he's going to have both hands in your pocket. So you really want to find out what taxes are involved with owning a business. You don't want to end up your first year being audited and it doesn't go too well for you. So make sure you know exactly how things work when it comes to owning a business. And I'm actually going to give you some information directly from the IRS website so that you can familiarize yourself with different aspects of business ownership according specifically to the IRS. The third and final agency that you want to familiarize yourself with is going to be the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission. Especially if you're going to be selling products, they're going to regulate exactly what you can ship in and out of the United States, and in and out of your specific state. So you want to make sure you're familiar with what their regulations are as well. You really, like I said, don't want to end up in a bad situation with any of these agencies just because you weren't informed. Because if they come and knock on your door, you can't tell them you didn't know. You should have done your research is what they're going to tell you. So make sure you knock that step out of the box right away. Your third step in building a business the right way is going to be define and determine your business structure. Now, your first step was defining your business model. This is different. This is your business structure. So your business model is what you're going to do. Your business structure is who's going to do it and how. So will you have a partner? Are you going to be running this business on your own? These are the things that you need to figure out, because this is going to determine also how you are going to pay your taxes and how you are going to form your business on paper. You want to get this step completed early, which is why it's number 3, because you'll want to do it before you start filling out any federal or state paperwork. You'll also want to determine whether or not you're going to have employees. Will you have W-2 employees or will you have 1099 employees? A W-2 employee is what most regular people are. If you work for someone else, 9 times out of 10, if you have a full-time regular job that you go to every day, there's no definitive end, you're not on contract or anything like that, most of the time you're a W-2 employee. That's what you get at the beginning of the year before you file your taxes, is a W-2. A 1099 employee is typically a contractor, someone who is not a regular employee of the company, and they're hired to do a specific function or job, and once that job is complete, they are no longer working for the company. They are also responsible for paying their own taxes and filling out that information themselves, whereas a W-2 employee, the company takes those taxes out of their check every week or 2 weeks or however often they're paid. So you want to figure these things out. How are you going to pay your employees? Who you're going to be working with? Who's going to run the business? Who's going to be, on paperwork with the state and with the government? That's going to determine some things later on that we'll talk about. Your fourth step is going to be naming your business. Now, I know this is going to be so exciting, but please, I beg of you, do not get ahead of yourself with naming your business. This is very, very important, and I don't believe that people put enough thought into this part. So your name of your business, it needs to be easily identifiable. It needs to be something that you've considered how other people are going to view the name. How is it going to look in print? How is it going to look on a website? How are people going to hear this name? Can they pronounce it? Just because the name means something to you may not necessarily resonate very well with your customers. And really and truly, even though it's your business, it's for your customers, for your clientele. Who are you serving? So you have to think about what that looks like to them. If they can't pronounce it, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to become a household name. It's not going to be very popular. It's not going to get the attention that you would probably like for it to get. So it needs to be relatable to your business model as well. You don't want to be Jane's Nails but you are a bakery. Those two things don't really go together. So you need to make sure that your business model and your business name are somehow connected and resonate with one another. A great way that you can do this is to start by Googling different synonyms and different phrases that relate to what it is that you're selling. So you can go to Google, and if, say, you do hair, just Google salon services, synonyms for salon services. And that may help you come up with the name. And you can find something that you relate to and that you really love. If that helps you, if you're having a hard time with coming up with the name. Now, before you go and start filling out all kinds of paperwork, you have to make sure that no one else is using that name. The best way for you to do this is to go to your state's business registration website, type in the name. If nothing comes up, guess what? You can use it. But if something comes up, you may want to think about changing a letter or two, changing a word, or just changing it altogether, because someone else is using that and you don't want to mix up the different businesses. Plus, it's illegal. So you can actually go as far as trademarking your name. That's not necessary, and it's not one of my steps, but it is something that you can do. I do recommend it if you have a business that's involved in some type of data or security type field, because there are certain licenses, certain intellectual property that go along with that type of business, and you'll want to trademark or copyright your name and the service that you have to go along with it. So, step 5, registering your business. So this is where things get legal. And I want to stop here and let you guys know I am not a lawyer, nor am I an accountant, but I do have, like I said, almost 8 years of business banking experience. I have owned several businesses on my own, and I do have several financial licenses that I work with different business customers. So although I have these licenses, I am a licensed professional. However, I am not a lawyer or an accountant. But this is where things get legal, and this is where you want to be very specific about the things that you do. And this is where doing it the right way becomes important. So you've determined your name, and you have made sure that it is unique, and now you need to register it. So going back to the previous step where you determine who's going to run your business and whose name going to go on the paperwork, this is where that becomes very important, because you need to determine if you're going to be a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a corporation, or a limited liability company. So those are the 4 types of businesses, the major 4 types of businesses that you register with your state. A sole proprietorship is someone who is just operating business under their regular name. They're not incorporated. They can use their regular social security number as their EIN, or employer ID number, which is like a business's social security number. And that's how they'll be taxed as an individual. A partnership is where 2 or more people have come together and decided that they're going to have this business. And the business is divided between those people as partners. They share in the liability of the business. They also are taxed on an individual level jointly. Now, corporations are broken into two different aspects. You have a C corporation and you have S corporations. Now, a C corporation is going to be your bigger corporation, and I'm actually going to give you the definitions for C corporations and S corporations that are straight from the IRS website. So a C corporation is recognized as a separate tax-paying entity. A corporation conducts business, realizes net income or loss, pays taxes, and distributes profits to shareholders. So a C corporation is going to be like your larger companies. It's going to be your Walmarts, your Targets, a national company or international company. It's going to be a larger company, and the taxes are paid by the company. And it is distributed, when they have a profit, it is distributed out to shareholders. This is where the stock market comes into play. I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm not going to get that granular because I feel like if you're watching this YouTube video, you probably don't need my help in that area. But if you do, feel free to inbox me. We can get granular. A S corporation, however, is defined by the IRS as a corporation that has elected to pass corporate income losses, deductions, and credits through to their shareholders for federal tax purposes. Shareholders of S corporation report the flow through of income and losses on their personal tax returns and are assessed tax at their individual income tax rate. This allows S corporations to avoid double taxation on the corporate income. So where C corporation, the shareholders, they pay taxes on the income twice. A S corporation, it's only taxed once. So, and then it's passed through to the shareholders. There are some requirements to being a S-Corp. We're not going to get that granular, but this information is available on the IRS website, and it will be in the information section below. And then the fourth and final type of business is a limited liability company. Now, this is probably the most common type of small business. There are different restrictions and requirements that vary from state to state, and you can have one owner or you can have multiple owners. So it just really depends on what you need for your business model to be. Basically, with the limited liability company, you can either pay the taxes at a corporate level for the company, or you can pay them on an individual level. There are so many different variations when it comes to limited liability companies, which is another reason why I'm not going to get granular, because I, again, am not a lawyer. So this whole process with determining if you're going to be an S-Corp or C-Corp or partnership or any of those type of things, that can take a while. But a business is just like a baby. It takes a while. You have to nurture it. You have to grow it. It's not going to happen overnight. And the process with filing your state paperwork can take anywhere from 3 days to 2.5 weeks. The first business that I built, it took me about a week for me to file all of my paperwork and get up and running. The last business that I built earlier this year, it took me over a month to get my paperwork completed. So it really varies from state to state and how you have everything set up. But it is the nature of building a business. Again, it's like a child. You have to let it grow on its own. So on to step 6. You've got your paperwork back. The state says, okay, your name is unique. It is your business. You are free to open. The next step that you need to take is to get an EID, or an employer identification number. This has many different names. It can be your EID, it can be your EIN, or it can be a TIN. An EIN is an employer identification number, or a TIN is a tax identification number. And again, these are just different names for your business's social security number. Just like every social security number for each individual person is unique, so are these numbers for different businesses. These are free and easy to obtain. It takes maybe 10 minutes to do it online on the irs.gov website, and you can get the number right then and there. You don't have to wait for them to send you a link. Although you can, you don't have to wait for them to send it to you in the mail, although you can. It's very simple for you to get an EIN number. Again, the link will be down below. That's what else is down below, that subscribe button. I want to take this time to pause and make sure you subscribe, because we are almost at the end of this video, but we are not at the end of this series. And this is going to be a 4-part series. If you found any of this information valuable, just imagine what I have coming for you next time. So go ahead and click that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell as well so you don't miss the rest of this series. Now that you have your employer ID number, you have your business name registered with your state, guess what? You're officially a business, and you can begin to market yourself. You can begin to start to sell your products. You've got your permits together. You've got your sales tax information together. You've got your employer ID number. You've got your registration paperwork. So guess what? You can go and open a bank account. If you need it, you can go and get business lending. You can start networking with other business owners to see who you can provide a service or a product to that can also help your business grow. These are the things that are important to business owners. And guess what? They're also the things that I'm going to talk about in my next couple of videos in this series. So please, 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 again, make sure you subscribe. Click the button, click the bell, and join me back next time where we talk about networking and branding for your business. This again is Naisha Nicole, and it is time to queen.